Well, where should I start? A lot is going on. We live in a world where everything is controlled. What we do, what we say, is controlled. Should we get angry? No. Should we live at peace? Yeah. It's not easy sometimes to be at peace, but you try to. People argue, fighting, screaming, yelling, swearing at each other. I walk away. Why should I stay in there? That's not me. Sure, you can get upset. Sure, you can get angry. You're driving on the highway. This guy cuts you off. You get mad. You want to go after him. And where that's going to lead. Reckless driving and something could happen, right? Yeah. And you don't know who's behind the wheel on the other person. They might have something they might attack you with. You have to be careful. You don't know. Unless you can outrun them. And I remember one night I was driving on the highway late at night when I was up north. I was coming out of work. I work late. And I get on the highway. Tractor trailer was on there. I was driving like a V6 with 250 horsepower and 250 feet of torque. I have an auto stick at the time, so I can shift the gears. So I'm driving and come right behind me, blowing a horn. For what purpose? I mean, the speed limit is 65. So I crank it up to 70. Still charging like a bull. Crazy. That's the rage. He got rage. What did he got that rage for? I get out of his way. He goes right behind me. So it was just the two of us on the road. That's the problem. There's nobody around at that time of the night. It's late at night. Nobody's there. So he gets out of control. There's nothing you can do. Even if they go 105 miles an hour. Try to outdo him. There's a tractor trailer. What happened with that? I made it to my exit. I got there so quick. I didn't realize I was there. But I got there. He just drove off. Went up north. So whatever was going on with him. But see, that's it. The system makes him feel angry. Get off the road. You shouldn't be on the road. Like that attitude. I see that all the time. When I used to drive from here to the south, up and down. I drive all the time. I don't want to drive anymore. I'm tired of that stuff. I had my fair share. I always thought it was great to drive up and down. But I've done so many miles. I get tired of it. It's always the same. It's when when you're driving, you're falling asleep behind that wheel. That's when the blank hits the fan. Because you don't want to. It's dangerous. You be I'm saying I don't have no self-driving vehicle. All I have is, what is it called again? It was called, it automatically drives. Cruise control. That's right. But I was lucky. I mean, my late father and I was driving from the north to the south, and we were pulling a U-Haul on the trail on his. He had what did he had again? He had a Baby 8 V8 260 horsepower, 2-barrel carb. Got it from the factory. He was a diehard when it comes to GM and stuff like that. He was really into that stuff. Drove that down. When we got to South Carolina, we were tired. Just went like this. But he got up in time. That's when you know that society, makes you have to work hard, drive long distance, back and forth. He didn't believe in staying in a hotel. I understand, and I was like that. And friends of mine say, hey, you need to stay at a hotel. They say, hey, we'll pay for it. Well, that's nice. But you don't have to do that. I have my own money. But, I appreciate that you offer it. Because you never turn anybody down. But in this case, I'd rather make it, drive 30 hours straight, Stop at a rest area. I know it's kind of dangerous to stop at rest areas, but, you can. But society is different now. The media controls everything. I don't know how many of you watch the news. I used to watch CBS like crazy when they get rid of one of the anchors I used to like. Then I kind of switched to NBC, and then NBC said something to one of the presidents, and I said, forget about it. I don't feel like watching that anymore. It gets too corrupt. And you have ABC, it's gone to Disney. So I don't know if anything's being said. Then you get the cable news, the CNNs, and I don't really watch that. We have YouTube. A lot of you are on YouTube, so you can tap into anything you want on YouTube. And there's streaming services as well. I'm very strict when it comes to streaming services, and I don't want to waste money. And I try to look for the best deal I can and all that stuff like that. But all the new services are on YouTube, so you have YouTube. Nobody really watches over the air. It's OTA TV. I have two antennas. I put them up there. One's pointed northwest, one pointed to the south, so I get both networks. But something happened to one of the antennas. I guess the sun tore into the terminals up there. I'll have to go up there and fix it. I built it myself. I cut the cord from the cable company for cable TV. I was getting tired. I was paying to myself. My antenna was much better. I was getting better quality than they are. They come here and they say, wow, this is better than us. Well, it's true. Why should I pay all that money for local broadcast when it's free? I don't want to pay all that money. Anyway. The world is not like it is now. Now it's different. Gas prices are sky high. The food is high. I gotta be honest with you. I've been out of touch lately. I went to the store and I saw how chickens are and stuff like that. Wow. When I went, it was like $2. and it's like a lot of money. Gee, whatever happened to the open store? Chicken, it was a big fat chicken for like $10. Boy, if that was around, it'd be like $30 or $50 now. How did all this happen? We were doing stuff here. Where I am here, they had tomato farms. They're gone. Everything's in South America. There's nothing here. It's a shame. What happened? Everything's gone. I've been to I think it's Missouri. Eggs were 72 you get like 72 eggs for like, what did I say? 72 cents. And you ain't get no eggs for that price now. Why is it every time something happens with the oil, we gotta pay more? Don't they have oil already here? Why jack up the price like that? If you have oil here in reserves, you have oil here ready, why do we have to pay more for the oil? It don't make no sense. I don't understand that. I understand they have to bring the oil, but if the oil fields and everything is damaged, why jack up the price? Why does everything have to go up? Is this how the society is? So if something major happens, everything jacks up in price? The pandemic is gone. We're still living it. Before the pandemic, everything was like normal. But after the pandemic, it's still the same. Everything's still high. I used to get cheap paper towels. I'm not being cheap, but I didn't feel like spending a lot of money. I don't need a name brand. It's the same paper towel. Walmart, they got that. It's black and white. It said paper towel on it, right? That's all. When I was a kid, we had a store where they had generic stuff. It said butter. They had no fancy name on it. It wasn't the store brand. It just said butter on it. Bread, meat. They didn't have no. You spend more when you buy the name brand. It doesn't guarantee that the name brand is even better than just that name by itself. So I live like that. And I buy stuff like that. It was cheap, but those things jack up in price. I'll buy a whole bunch of these paper towels and throw them in the basket, and I would have enough to last for months. The guy says to me, how come you buy a lot of that? They're dirt cheap here. You didn't know that? No. Now you know. I look for deals. I can't spend a lot. And if they price things wrong, I can go after them. Hey, this is priced wrong. You have to change the price. But that's a different story. A lot of you now, the anger. I have another channel I teach how to calm down and relax and stay at peace. I did another one of these videos, but I did a different way. I did approach. I haven't slept. I need to get sleep. So I slept for a couple of days. Well, 2 days. And that's why there's no video from me here. But I had to. And I felt better. I felt peace. And feel relaxed. Check out that video, okay? That's going to... I don't know which one will come out first. Maybe this one or the other one. You'll know the difference. You got to feel peace. You got to feel quiet. You got to feel relaxed. I'm also an author as well. I wrote a book. I have about 137 books, but I haven't only released one. I wanted to see how the process was. And I'm saying, should I sell overseas or just sell in the United States? I did better in the United States. It's ebook, It's not that hard. They don't charge. Amazon will charge you. There you go, that way. The Kindle is expensive, but I get on the Kindle anyway. It's a racket. You have to know the racket, how the racket works. It's a shame everything's a racket. I make music too. That's another racket. Everything's a racket. It's a shame. You can't just make the music and we're not allowed to upload it. You got to go through a system. And you have to be approved, like you're going to Yale. Then once you get approved, that music can get up there. Yeah, it's not. But I mean, they do a pretty good job. I mean, I changed my email and all that stuff, and I had a hard time with them. I said, I had to get rid of the ISP because they were charging too much, and I was not able to upload 4K. They were slowing me down. And them, the ISP, it was a nightmare to get away from them. No more. I'm gone. Cut the cord from them too, completely. Faster internet now. But, I shouldn't have to go through all that, That's so much stress. I got to a point I said, I was calm with them. I didn't, I've been with you guys for a long time. I had you down here and I had you up north too. Why is it hard to break away from you? Oh, you'll come back. No, I'm not coming back. No, I'm not coming back. They screwed up with my my phone. I called up to see if I can get a discount on the system, on the cable. And they said, sure, hey, we're offering a free phone. Would you like an iPhone? Oh, I never had one. Okay. Big mistake. The girl messed up. And I got the phone. It was tiny. I sent it back to them. They never took it off the SIM. They charging me, pulling money out of my bank for a phone I don't have. I had to contact the FCC to get them involved. They told me they couldn't do much. But to me, we can't do much. So I got to talk to the escalation department. I hate talking to that company. They're terrible. What do you expect? I said, I would like you people to refund my money and back into the bank. Well, don't worry about it. You don't have to pay your bill for a long time. I did not. That's not what the money is for. That was for I had their cell phone system. It was a nightmare to junk. Anyway, all that's straightened out. But I'm never going back to them. Nope. I'll stay where I am with this other company. Let's see how they work out. Yeah. It's tough. You got to be careful. It's not easy living and doing things here. I'm born here, so I'm not in the foreign. My idea, about things is a little different. I live peaceful, and I don't follow. You can't follow the people out there. You got to follow the people that you can trust, and you follow. People should listen and understand. And not everybody's going to listen. Not everybody's going to understand. Everybody's out for themselves. If somebody's angry and you go to the supermarket, no sense talking to them. They're angry. They shouldn't be working. They should go home. If I was a manager and that you're done, you don't need to come to work angry and leave it at home. You gotta function. But it's tough. A lot of you going through a lot. It's tough. It's a tough world we live in. But I try to give you some advice and try to help you along the way and try to make your life easier. It's tough. It's tough. But when you get a peace and you feel relaxed and you feel comfortable and you try not to worry about things, the bills, the knocking on the door, all these different things, the phone calls. You don't know who's calling. You don't know who's calling. Don't answer that phone. That phone, don't answer it. You don't know who's calling on the cell? This cell phone is yours. It's actually from the other company. I paid for it. It's mine. I'm not selling it back. I don't have to sell it back. I'm keeping it. So, yeah. I want the voicemail to be turned off. The new company tells me, no, it can't be done. What do you mean it can't be done? No, we can't do that. Then no phone calls should go to it because I don't have nothing activated. I'm not activating it. That's all. I'm not using it. There's no law saying that I have to use it. I'm not using it. I don't want to be harassed. I don't have the time to sit there listening to phone messages. If anybody needs to get a hold of me, the SMS or RCS is the same thing, like that. Listen, some of you might have regular landlines, but eventually all that's going to be gone. Maybe gone already, and everything's the cell phone. The pay phones are gone. I don't see any pay phones anymore. Everything's gone. Just tried the walkie-talkie phones, but that didn't really work too well. But yeah. Make your life the way you can. If you live a different way and you want things done a certain way, then do it. Don't expect these people to listen. You have nobody following you properly or listening to you, then these people are not your friends. I have another channel. I talk about certain things like some stuff similar to this, but it's a different way of dealing with it. Let me see what it is. And I can't. Sometimes it's hard to. I'm doing so many things at the same time. Why you never ask for help? Like me, I was raised. My father, he worked hard. He ran his own. He thought he got an idea. His idea was to buy a big house, rent it the upstairs, or rent it down. Rent it, still live in it and rent it. But he never asked for help with it. I helped. He taught me how to do plumbing, electrical, drywall. I learned it myself. I had a house. Well, it wasn't mine. It was the ex's. I had a house up north there, and Dutch Colonial needed fixing. Drywall had holes, and it was a flipped house, so we got it dirt cheap. And I fixed it up, remodeled it. I put the flooring down and everything. And it looked nice. You couldn't tell it was messed up before. I had before and after pictures, but I did it myself. Nobody helped me. My ex side of the family, they wouldn't help me. No, it's hands out. You want a handshake? No. You got to do what you got to do. You got to make it in this world. I don't want to talk too long. Get so I can talk for a long time. But listen, you got to do what you got to do. You got to relax, be at peace. Check out the other video. It'll help you with your sleeping and relaxing. I do too type. But you never ask for help because you believe you can do it on your own. Sometimes it's good. Your neighbor, battery dead, knock on the door. And he'll open the door. Hey, can you give me a boost? He'll boost. But I get tired of doing that. So I've rigged up something in my vehicle where I didn't have to do it anymore. Yeah. So that's it. I don't need it anymore. I just do it myself. If the battery goes dead, you just bring it to them, replace it, and that's it. But some people, don't want any help. But again, don't let the media is doing their own thing. They tell you one story. You don't have to believe it. And sometimes the media is out of control. It's like they're attacking the current president, or they attack. They're looking for something. They keep repeating the same thing over and over again, This is like it's like a taunt. I don't understand. That's not what it's for. It's supposed to, if it's a crime, if there's news or a fire, you talk about that. They don't talk about things like that. It just go after the thing. It's terrible. Okay. All right. Hey, you take care, all right? And we'll talk again.